Hello and welcome back. Next up we have Georgia Barnette with Property ID talking to us about natural hazard disclosures. Hi Georgia, how are you?
I'm good, Angie. How are you?
So tell me, what is Property ID?
Property ID is a company that sells natural hazard disclosure reports. Our clients are actually the realtors. They, on behalf of their client, the buyer of the property, chooses our report on behalf of them, having done good faith and doing due diligence for their client.
So what exactly is a natural hazard disclosure?
It's a California law required report that discloses to the buyer of the property any natural hazard disclosures. The three big ones would be earthquake, flood, and fire disclosures. And simply what they do is they make the buyer aware of, does the property they're planning on purchasing fall within an earthquake fault plain, a flood zone, a high fire hazard area. There are several fire hazard areas. And so basically it's going to affect the insurance premiums of the property they're planning to buy, and could also potentially reflect building options on the property in the future if they're so choosing to add a pool or granny house or what have you.
Now, is it ever a deal breaker? Like if someone gets their disclosure report and they find out that maybe they're in a flood zone or a fire zone or an earthquake zone that they weren't aware of?
It can be. It does happen. Normally, for the most part, the realtor knows what their client is looking for in a property. So what a realtor should do is order our report immediately. Then they're going to know, is this property near a landslide? Does their client, are they planning on building a pool on the property? If they have the information up front, then they know, this house is not going to work. Let's find them another house based on their needs. Sometimes agents will wait till later in the process and they're going to order a report. And something could possibly come up on a report, and there's a fire hazard issue, for example, and that's going to make the insurance premium for the buyer be pretty expensive, and then they might rethink and go, you know what, I'm looking for something else.
So it's a requirement in California, but not worldwide.
That's correct. It's California state law. Every property has to have our natural hazard disclosure.
Interesting. Now, how long have natural hazard disclosures been around?
They've been around since the early 90s.
Okay.
They've been mandated since the mid 90s. It's all about consumer protection.
Mm-hmm.
We feel that it's very important that they know what they're buying before buying, and then finding out after the fact, and then, oh, now what do I do?
Absolutely. How did you get into this business?
Kind of a fluke, actually. I used to be in nursing. I did that for many years, and then I wanted to get into outside sales. I really enjoy people and talking to them and meeting new people. I took a job in the real estate industry, and then actually this job kind of found me, and it's been a really good fit, and I've enjoyed every moment of it.
Very cool. So tell me, why is it important for a new homeowner to get a natural hazard disclosure? Just as protection, basically?
Yeah, it's protection. Their realtor should do their due diligence and they will order the report on behalf of their client. And like I said, it's for insurance premiums.
So does the homeowner actually ever read this disclosure report?
They will get a copy of it. They should read it. Their real estate agent should give it to them and say, read this. They do sign off on it, having said that they have read it and they fully understand the information within it. So yes, and the sooner into the deal, the better for them. Then they can't down the road go, well, I wasn't made aware of this.
Exactly. Okay. Now tell me, what kind of reports can a consumer order?
There's the individual property report, the natural hazard. A secondary report that also comes with it is a clue report, which is a separate little report. It's actually by a third party. That's something that we actually do not create, but all natural hazard companies do go to this outsource for the report. And CLUE stands for California Loss Underwriting Exchange, and that report simply pulls a 5-year insurance claim on the property. So for example, if there was a flood claim, an electrical fire claim, anything that the current or previous homeowner dating back 5 years filed a home insurance claim on, the CLUE report is going to show that. Once again, that's something that could affect the new owner's insurance premium. Okay. Sometimes if there's an electrical issue or a water issue, they're going to look at it and go, well, it happened once, it could very certainly happen again. Unfortunately, your insurance premiums are going to be a little bit higher. Other little issues they don't care about, and beyond 5 years, frankly, they figure if it hasn't happened past 5 years, it's really of no concern.
Okay, and so residential properties is mandated in California. What
Correct.
about commercial?
Also, commercial reports we provide, and then there's an environmental report that also goes along with the residential report.
Now, are the commercial reports mandated like the residential?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
they do have.
It's all about the property and are any natural hazard effect tied to that property.
Okay, so tell me, Georgia, what would be 3 tips you'd give someone when choosing a natural hazard disclosure report?
It is the realtor that chooses the report. The realtor should, in good faith, have a little knowledge of the NHD companies out there. I mean, it is a business. There is competition. I feel we have a great report. We're the only independent company out there. We have additionally insured to back the report. We have attorneys on staff that represent clients in the event, if you will, if there ever is a litigation somewhere down the road. So it's really up to the real estate agent to do their due diligence to find that natural hazard disclosure company on behalf of their client so that everybody is protected.
Okay, wow. Now tell me, what would be one of your horror stories for someone that maybe didn't order a report, or does that never happen?
Well, actually, there was a few years ago, there was an old client of mine who went to another company that there was a bit of a horror story, because as you know, in California recently, especially in San Diego County, there's been some pretty big fires. Mm-hmm. And so the fire maps will constantly change. And in this particular case, there was incorrect fire reporting out issues on this particular house that happened to be in a severe high fire hazard area, and it was not found out until like days before escrow closing. And it was bad, and fortunately for us, the realtor ordered a secondary report from us, and ours reported out correctly. Unfortunately for the client, the buyer, it was a deal breaker for everyone, but we looked good because we had they gone to us, they would have had the correct information up front.
Wow, important stuff, most
Yes,
definitely.
yes.
So thanks so much, Georgia, for coming on, and thank all of you guys for watching. I'm Angie Stanley. This is Smart Real Estate.